Welcome to the Fit2 Podcast.
You just found the number one health and fitness podcast for performers. Thank you for joining us as we bring you meaningful, helpful, and accurate information and
remind you that fitness doesn't have to be boring.
Right now, you're listening to one of our talk episodes, during which Bobby and I talk about stuff. Really? And if you like what we do,
Good summary.
then please leave us a review.
Yeah, go on. 5 stars. Ching, 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 ching. 5 stars sounds good. I think it sounds good. On that note, should we cue some music?
During that intro, I was trying to work out why everything sounded different, and it's because I don't normally wear these headphones.
Oh, yeah, you wear different headphones. Yeah, this is a rogue choice for you.
Everything sounds weird.
That is odd. Yeah, we're creatures of comfort. Also, I mean, it is definitely going to sound different because they are different headphones. They're going to have a different frequency response.
We have used the same headphones for 200 and whatever episodes.
That is true.
That is at least 1.3 times that many hours wearing them, if not more.
You do get accustomed to your headphones.
And the sound. Yeah. Your voice sounds different in these.
Sam told me yesterday that I'm talking like Kermit the Frog at the moment.
Oh, in life or on the podcast?
In life. Yesterday we were walking and she was like, talk properly. You sound like Kermit.
What were you doing? Were you like,
No, I think it's because I'm just more and more regressing into talking in this part of my voice.
It's because you haven't slept in about a month.
Yeah, and I just don't ever really talk full voice anymore.
Well, perhaps that's the task for us on this podcast.
What, to speak in full voice?
Yes.
We
shall have good vocal practice throughout.
And I won't sound like Kermit. Oh, well, I will, because I do sound.
I think I've got a different idea of what Kermit sounds like.
No, I definitely did sound. Yesterday, I was sounding quite Kermity. In general, I think I've got I've got more of a Cookie Monster kind of.
Yeah, I'd see that.
I think that's just because that's who I wish I was. Cookie Monster.
I wish I was.
I love Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster is top tier.
I mean, in the tiers of what is the question?
In just the tiers of everything.
Okay.
Cookie Monster is like my spirit animal.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Also, he's fantastic on social media.
What?
Cookie Monster's brilliant on social media.
What?
Yeah, Cookie Monster's
so many steps ahead of where I'm at right now.
He's great. Very entertaining. Also, if you've ever seen Cookie Monster, I don't know whether this is applicable to all. Is it Universal theme parks or
one of them?
One of them. If this is typical to all theme parks, but when I saw Cookie Monster in Singapore, they were so full out with their dancing. I was like, this is fantastic. And then I've seen since on Instagram, Cookie Monster always being so extra, doing break dancing, dropping into the splits. Cookie Monster's a wild ride, and I'm fully there for it.
I feel like that's the part you would have wanted.
Yeah. I would be. That is definitely the part I would have wanted, apart from the dropping into the splits.
Nobody does which Muppet are you? They're always which OC character were you, or something like
OC. Don't you throw these fantastic old school shows at me?
The OC was such a good show.
That was.
It's terrible, but I loved it.
Great TV.
That and things do you remember Charmed?
Yes. That
had a niche fan club as well.
Yeah, I never really watched Charmed.
I don't know when that was on for us. Buffy obviously was more commonplace.
Yeah. I didn't really watch Buffy
that
much.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I feel like I can imagine you loving Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes, it was so cool.
Wasn't there a musical episode of Buffy?
There was a musical episode of Buffy, and it was amazing. When I tell you that I know most of those songs off by heart.
Oh my God. Would you ever do one of those for an audition? Just for the lols?
For the lols?
Yeah.
Yes. There's a couple in there that are quite bad, but there's a couple Spike sings this song that's pretty good, and Walk Through the Fire is a song that comes, it's a motif for the episode.
Yeah.
That's not great. But they got I don't know his name. They got a guy from Broadway who's a tapper to come in and be the demon. And the story was he was a demon that basically turned your pain into song and dance. And what would happen is that would amplify it, as song and music do, and until the point where you basically burnt out and died. Like, long concept, but we're there for it. And then he did this such a cool song because it was one of the first times I actually heard like a bass baritone get a song.
Yeah.
And he's literally like, "Why'd you run away? Don't you like my style?" And then he'd click his fingers and his suit would change. I was like, this is so good. I honestly loved it. Loved it.
Oh my God, it sounds absolutely terrible, but...
I had it on DVD. I will not make you watch it because I don't think...
Who has a DVD player anymore?
That's true. You can probably just find it on YouTube, to be there.
Yeah.
But I had the CD of it. I actually just loved it.
You were full out here.
I think it's the first thing I ever saw do a musical episode of something. I'd never seen a show like just suddenly have an episode that they were like, "Oh, let's get Broadway writers in and do like proper."
Yeah.
Like now, obviously, there was that Scrubs one a little bit.
The
later
Scrubs
on.
one was great.
So
Scrubs was excellent. Scrubs was just excellent.
Scrubs. I keep trying to tell Maddie how good Scrubs was, and she's like, "Great," but has zero interest in watching it. I'm like, "No, you don't understand."
No, it was so good.
People are like, "Oh, Friends was the best show," and I'm like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Friends was fantastic. Friends was phenomenal.
We're of a generation that still appreciates Friends, and if you're young and listening to this, then sorry, but Scrubs underrated,
really underrated.
And an ex of mine was, her parents were both doctors. One was a GP and one was a consultant pediatrician. They were like, of all the medical shows out there, like Scrubs is the one that most accurately represents what working in a hospital is actually like.
Yeah, because it was like so funny, but then absolutely heartbreaking at points.
Yeah. And they'd be like, they'd have all their own dramas. Like the surgeons hate the doctors and the doctors hate the surgeons. And the nurses are like, "What the fuck are you all doing, you dickheads?" like all of this stuff, all ongoing. And yeah, I cried in watching Scrubs so many times.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Like its ability to swap you from like laughing out loud to genuine. In fact, the musical episode is one of them.
Yeah, it really is.
That episode is so much fun. And then at the end, you're like, I'm crying.
You're like, oh, this is brutal.
I'm sorry, my eyes appear to be leaking.
Like, what is this? What is this sauce appearing from my face?
It does not taste good.
Tastes like victory.
Victory. Oh, God. Yeah, no, Scrubs. If you can think of other TV shows that we're not mentioning during this time, then throw us a bone.
Yeah, we're just having a random nostalgic trip down memory lane.
Yeah, this isn't on our
TV.
topic list.
No, but I'm enjoying it. Do you know what's an underrated musical?
Oh, God.
South Park, the musical.
Is that underrated? I feel like people constantly say that that's great, don't they?
I think it's phenomenal.
What's the song that Satan sings?
Up There.
Banger. In my head, it's turned into Out There from Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's the same song.
It's kind of similar. Up there. It's kind of similar, but it's fantastic.
That's, I think, the first thing of South Park that I ever actually sat and watched.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get it when I first watched it.
Fair.
I was like, why is the animation so bad? Which still to this day is a permanent question I have with South Park. I'm like, I get it that that's the style, and now I've watched more and I love it, and I'm like, cool, fine, but I am still, there's that little bit of me that's like, you could have put a bit of effort in. Like,
it has to look like that now, though.
Oh yeah, now they can't do shit.
Yeah.
Although occasionally they have like 3D sequences, which are
the
really
3D,
bizarre.
they're funny.
Like, I think the first one of those I saw was on The Simpsons about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
They put a 3D sequence in, and I was like, what the hell just happened here?
What is this?
In like the Simpsons movie, do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
That was...
Spider Pig.
I can't hear that song without thinking of Spider Pig.
Spider Pig was a movement. It was a thing. It was a
movement.
thing.
It was a movement. Oh, well, speaking of movements, why don't you make moves yourself, people who are listening to this, by just pop into our Instagram if you're in the gym right now, or if you might be listening. Pop to our Instagram, click the old link in bio, and join the 30-day level up.
Oh, yeah.
It's free. It's completely freaking free.
It's so free.
Just like
so
this
free
podcast.
right now.
We should probably tell you why you should do that. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. Basically, we've tried to pour in every single piece of value that we possibly could into 30 emails that you'll get over the course of wait for it, 30 days.
Way!
And each one, it's not like just information. It's not like, oh, hey, this is how many calories are in a gram of protein. Like, cool, you could Google that. Like, we're trying to give you practical things to do. And obviously, if you keep them in a folder, whatever it might be, you'll have them forever. And everything is in there for you to legit change the way you live your life. So, yeah, enough of me harping on about it, but it is worth it, I promise. I've even had them all delivered to myself. Just to check. Does this work? Does this work on a phone? Yeah.
How's this looking?
Yeah. It was really annoying working out how to do that.
Well, how to deliver it?
Yeah.
There was a lot of effort went into it.
It was, yeah. And also just trying to work out how to, effectively put that information into succinct, short things that aren't too overwhelming for people, with enough like actual coaching value that give you something to do and apply from each email, rather than I don't know about you, I've signed up to countless like email things that have said something like that to me before, and they don't actually do anything. They just give me stuff I could have Googled, or like the occasional thing that's like them going, yeah, the reason you should join my business is because I'm XYZ or whatever it is. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, I mean, when we were discussing doing this, I had recently signed up for one. I won't say exactly which one. But having gone through that, I was like, well, we need to do all the things that are wrong with this. We need to sort them out. We need to do it properly. We need to do it in a way that's actually like useful to people, because I think quite often these are either too long or too just kind of rambling. It's just, yeah. I mean, I don't want to like big ourselves up, but I think what we've created with this 30-day email is fantastic. Like, there's so much knowledge in there. It's all kind of applicable. It's all really easy to just make part of your everyday life. Yeah, get amongst it.
And again, it's free.
It's free.
So if you sign up and you go, I don't like this, just unsubscribe.
If you're like, oh God, I really hate Bobby.
I just
can't
of the
stand
two of us.
him.
Of the two of us,
yeah,
far less likely they're going to hate you.
No, there's plenty to hate. There's plenty to hate about me.
If there's plenty to hate about you, then shit. Shall we move on? I think we haven't even done your fact.
Would you like my fact?
I would love your fact of the app.
Okay, this is not necessarily. It's a fact, but it's not the kind of fact I've normally been doing. Did you know that in World War II, a pigeon received the equivalent of the Victoria Cross?
Right. I think I did know this. Is it a French pigeon?
No, it's a British pigeon.
Okay. So something like this came up in The Gentleman, the TV show, that they refer to this exact thing, that's something that I thought it was in France.
No, it's British. It's a British pigeon.
Maybe this also happened with the French pigeon, or I've just made up that it was French.
So
it got shot.
No, so Commando is the name of the pigeon. Commando was a pigeon used in service with the British Armed Forces during the Second World War to carry crucial intelligence. The pigeon carried out more than 90 missions during the war and received the Dickin Medal, which is the animal equivalent of the Victoria Cross, for 3 particularly notable missions in 1945.
I'm sorry, that means that at some point you could ask the person giving you the medal, what are you giving me? And they're saying, a dicking.
God.
Today, sir, I'm giving you a dicking.
Wow. If you say that to a pigeon, you're going to get in trouble.
I fucking hope so, yeah. And
the medal was later sold at auction for £9,200.
Oh my God.
And
how was it delivered?
Oh God. So I was doing this job a while back for the legendary Ministry of Fun, where it was basically this kind of like tour of the UK, doing a little show called World War at Home, where we basically did stories from like World War I. But as part of it, I had to present a homing pigeon like demonstration. So,
oh God, do you have to release them?
No. We were basically like, So we released it, and then we had a video link to the home of the pigeon,
right?
So that we would, during the like demonstration, during the broadcast, we would be like, okay, pigeon's on his way. He should be there in about 5 minutes. let's do a countdown. And then the pigeon would arrive in this place
Hopefully.
with the message that we'd sent.
Right.
So we'd basically write down a little message, put it on him, off he went, and he would arrive. And
Open up the message. You're going to get a good dick in for this.
Yeah, I learned loads about pigeons during that period. It's all fallen out of my head, apart from the fact that I do know that carrier pigeons have little carrier pigeon parachutes.
That's fantastic. And this is nuts because I watched the episode of The Gentleman with this on Saturday, another TV show we spoke about previously. But Ray Winston's character in it is talking about a French pigeon who was tasked with basically some people were ahead of the enemy lines, some soldiers on that side, and they sent the carrier pigeon back to go, hey, stop shelling us because it's us. We're ahead of the line. Yep. Sent the pigeon. The pigeon got shot like through its leg and half it and lost its eye and stuff. Still delivered the message and saved all their lives. This might be made up in the show, but I don't. It had the vibe of something being.
Pigeons were like huge in the war. They were used all
like
the
2
time.
feet?
Yeah, they were genetically modified pigeons. A pigeon the size of a bear.
Dinosaurs.
The flying bear.
God.
Yeah, and like they were always like in their little harness, taken up into a plane with their little parachute on. They were taken up into the plane and then released from there, like drop down. Their little parachute would release and they'd swing back down they'd go down to like the front line. They would write the message, pop it into their little leg carrier, and then free them, and they would go back home, deliver the message. Boom.
God, it's insane that just birds were willing to do that. Not, I say willing, they didn't really have much choice, but they could have just flown away. like it's nuts that they, like, how did they know? I don't get it.
They're expensive as well.
Are they?
Yeah, like I remember this, I'm plucking this out of my brain from way back when I did that show thing. But I think they go for like 20 grand a pop for a good quality carrier pigeon or homing pigeon.
Why?
I'm going to fact check myself as we do this.
That's not okay. I don't need 20 grand's worth of pigeon. It's going to die.
It's going to die. Maybe not.
Was that,
oh God, what's that?
Was that something?
Is a pigeon worth 1.4 million? Okay, I'm not even going to get into it.
That must be a gold-plated pigeon.
In recent years, racing pigeons have sold for well in excess of $1.5 million.
That's a racing pigeon, isn't it?
Yeah, but
that's different.
Yeah.
Buy a carrier pigeon.
Price of a homing pigeon.
Oh God, I don't want a taxidermy one. Pre-loved taxidermy. This is messed up. Who buys this stuff? Oh, you can get them for like 50
Racing
quid.
pigeons are the same as homing pigeons, aren't they?
I don't think so.
I think they are.
Because you've got a homing pigeon that can buy for like 50 quid here.
1.5 million. That is a lot of money for a pigeon. Please stick with us as we look up.
Pigeons. Yeah, not the most interesting bit we've done on the podcast. Although, while Bobby looks this up, I need to pull my eyes away.
Racing pigeons and homing pigeons are the same thing.
Oh, so why is this price so different then?
Don't know. But yeah, no, they're the same thing.
Why is it called a racing pigeon then?
Because it's used for sport.
But surely
I think homing pigeons, like the name homing pigeons comes from like when they were used for like work.
So, but it's the same type.
Same type of pigeon.
I think my point would be that it's the same way that a racehorse is the same as a horse. Like it's the same breed, but if you're selling a racehorse, it's one that is actually like proficient and good at racing.
But a homing pigeon as well, because you have to train a homing pigeon to be a homing pigeon.
Yes, but you wouldn't buy any homing pigeon in order to race. Do you know what I mean? So a homing pigeon might not necessarily be quick enough to be a racing pigeon.
I think they're just the same thing.
But that can't be true. It can't be true because not all homing pigeons can be racing pigeons. And I mean that the breed is identical. I've got no dispute on that. But you know what I mean? Let's say the breed of horse is X. Like not all of that breed of horse are a race horse.
Yeah, but if you train that horse, then it becomes a racehorse.
Yes, but there's genetic potential in the same way as a human being. If I put you through 10 years worth of bodybuilding, it doesn't mean that you'd have the genetic ability to compete in the Olympics in X, Y, Z, or whatever it might be. So like a racing pigeon should in theory be one that is actually good enough to race, especially if it's being sold for 1.5 million. You'd assume it's quite a good racing pigeon.
It sounds like, I don't know. There's so many different. Every racing pigeon is a homing pigeon,
but not every homing
pigeon
pigeon
is a racing pigeon.
That's what I'm saying.
Speed? Who knows? This is
nonsense. Somebody is listening to this going, one, this is insanely boring, and someone else is listening going, well, obviously. Should we move on from bird control?
No, I'm thoroughly enjoying this. Yes, carry on.
I'm going to move to a joke.
Go for it.
The jokes at the moment, I want to change how we do these, but now is not the time to do that. So I'm going to give you the one I've prepared.
Go for it.
Sound okay?
Yeah.
A peephole was found in the gym locker rooms.
Okay.
The police are looking into it.
Oh my God. Shocking.
Oh, I'm going to keep going. Some priests
Oh God.
started a bodybuilding group.
Okay.
They have a lot of muscle mass.
Oh my God. It's terrible.
And then I once knocked off a guy from his bike. I've since been banned from that gym.
Jesus.
I'm going to keep going. I have to make a confession.
Why are you doing more?
Because it's getting better. I have to make a confession. I'm not bench pressing anymore. It's a real weight off my chest.
Oh my God. This is unbearable.
That's why I wanted to keep going.
This is just painful.
I think a sequence is better than a single.
Is it?
For your disdain. Should we move to the helpful, meaningful, accurate information?
Let's do it. We're going to talk about creatine today.
Yes.
Everybody's favourite supplement, because we did supplements a few talk episodes ago. So let's move on to creatine, see what's going on in the world of creatine.
And we did have a moment before we started this where I realised I say it differently to you. And I was like, what the hell is happening here? I'm always like, wait, have I just only ever read this? And it turns out that there's an American pronunciation, which is creatine, which would be how I would say it. And it turns out I'm wrong. The British way is
creatine. But I think this is the same with a lot of, this is a sidetrack, but this is the same with a lot of different phrases within nutrition and within training and things like hypertrophy. I know many people who call it hypertrophy.
Yes, but that one is just incorrect. That's not a correct pronunciation in any dialect.
Yeah, but there's like legitimate, like big people within fitness who I've heard call it hypertrophy.
Well, that's not I mean, it's a 4-syllable word.
I mean, I call it hypertrophy, but
like
there's definitely there's a lot of examples of this kind of stuff, though. Like
I found the fact that it's INE at the end would either be like ein, creatine, brine, or een. Like the idea of it being in with an e on the end seems odd to me.
Which makes sense when it's English because everything's odd.
Yeah, if it's the wrong way, if it's the way that you think it shouldn't be, like it's like tin or pin, but if you add an e, it would be tine or pine. Like, I don't get it. Yeah.
But yeah, it's creatine.
Anyway, tell us why creatine's bloody fantastic.
Creatine's fantastic. Well, creatine is naturally found. So I think that's the first thing to mention is it is a natural compound for energy production. So creatine is naturally occurring compound. You can find it in animal products like meat and fish, and it's also produced in the human body. So primarily in the liver, the kidneys, and the pancreas. Its main role, it plays a crucial role essentially in the production of ATP.
Yes,
which is the primary energy source for cellular function, our favourite.
I remember learning what that was and I felt so smug. Adenosine triphosphate. And I was like, every time I get a chance to drop that in, I'm like, I have to rein myself back in when I'm chatting to clients. They don't care.
No, they don't care.
Nobody cares.
They don't care. It's useful to know, but you're like, just call it ATP.
Well, once you understand what it is.
But then then you're like, even ATP might be too much.
So a fuel.
It's energy. So yeah, that is essentially what creatine is. Why we like it and why we like supplementing it is for its performance enhancement. So it's been studied to hell and back. Like it's the most studied supplement. And it's been shown essentially to improve performance in high intensity, short duration activities such as weightlifting, sprinting, and jumping. So when you consume creatine, it gets stored in the muscles as phosphocreatine. Phosphocreatine serves as a readily available reserve of high energy phosphates that can be used to rapidly regenerate ATP during short bursts of intense activity.
And that's the point you lost most people.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
Like that's what, like science level is like 10.
Yeah, we'll give you the science and then we'll boil it down to
What's useful.
it helps you with short bursts of energy.
Yeah.
That's when you need it. Like if you've got short bursts of energy, then creatine is going to be a fantastic supplement.
I love asking our clients this when they if they ask something about this, when they go like, what is ATP then? How does it work? When you're like, the best way I can describe it is, let's say you were doing a bicep curl and then you ask somebody, why did you have to stop?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I got tired. I'm like, no, you didn't. You're awake.
Yeah.
Like, you're not tired. What's tired? My muscle's tired. What does that mean? And the answer is, it ran out of ATP. So like, and it replenishes really, really fast in your body, right? Like, a matter of minutes, which is why rest times are important. And that's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other thing.
But like, if you're confused by the science, that's, I think, a helpful point, isn't it? Like, it's the thing your muscle uses to contract.
Yeah.
That's why it's important, and that's why it improves your performance too. I hope I'm not stepping on toes of what you'd say later on, but like, this isn't something that like isn't there unless you take it. You just have more of it and be more efficient. Sorry, forgive me.
No, but I think that's super important. I think, and that's why we supplement it, because you're like, well, if we can increase the amount of ATP we have, we can get more from that work. And we can replenish quicker. So, yeah, useful. It plays a huge role, though, in muscle growth and recovery as well. So, as well as energy metabolism, creatine has also been linked to increased muscle mass and hypertrophy. There it is, that word again.
Hypertrophy?
And obviously, that only happens when it's combined with resistance training. So, creatine supplementation can also enhance your protein synthesis, reduce muscle breakdown, and it can promote that faster recovery between workouts. Ultimately, what this means for you as the listener, you as the person supplementing creatine, is that it can lead to greater gains in muscle size and strength over time.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. It can also lead to increased water retention within the muscle cells, because that's kind of how it works, which may lead to cell volumization or swelling. And this can help create that muscle growth as well.
There's a myth surrounding this, that when you take creatine, people think they're going to look bloated. They're going to retain water. And it's a misconception about how that water retention happens, isn't it? Because it literally fills the muscle belly.
Fills the muscle, yeah.
So your muscles will look bigger.
Yeah.
You're not going to have more space in between your skin and your muscle, which is the thing that people are like mentally thinking happens.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
And I think people are scared off by that. People are scared off by this idea of water retention.
You're like, no, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing. Yeah. Fill up those muscles with water. Lovely.
Done.
Delightful. Like I said, it's super safe. It's super well researched. Like it is the most researched of the supplements. And in general, for most people, it's great and it really works. And some people experience a little bit of minor kind of GI discomfort, gastrointestinal discomfort, or a little bit of water retention, but these tend to be like temporary side effects. They're quite mild. They wear off quite quickly. Obviously, if you've got any pre-existing kidney conditions or anything like that, steer clear. Always read the label.
Read the
label. But yeah, so we know how fantastic it is. We tend to work in like two kind of phases with it. Some people don't. Some people just do one phase. There's basically like a loading phase and then a maintenance phase. Loading phase, you want to like ramp up how much you're taking in right at the beginning. So about 20 grams.
This is new, right? Because they were for a long time.
Yeah.
For a long time, nobody knew about a loading phase at all.
No.
And then they proved in the studies we saw that we're on like 10 grams.
Yep.
And that was the advice for a while. And now this study came out. I think you told me about it actually when it came out, and they said like 20 grams is actually more effective than the 10. But then I read a study the other day that was like you could have up to 40. So we're currently in a time period where we're not sure how much is really helpful.
That's the thing. There's always new stuff coming out. So right now, my recommendation or our recommendation would be 20 grams per day for 5 to 7 days. That will flood the muscle with that creatine. And then from there, you switch it to a maintenance dose, which is about 3 to 5 grams per day. It
if you're big.
Yeah, it varies. So if you want to sustain that. And also there used to be this idea that you need to phase it out and you need to have weeks off, which you don't. You can quite happily carry on.
That was an entire misconception about how it works.
Yeah.
I take 5 every day now.
Yeah, it's difficult because so I use creatine gummies because I find it so much easier and nicer than having the powder. But a dose for the creatine gummies that I take is 3 grams, and actually I want 5. Then you're like, oh, I've got to mix it up. But yeah,
the gummies are a revelation. Take those.
Yeah, the gummies. If I can give one piece of advice, is take the gummies because they're just easy.
They cost you a tiny bit more, but you will actually take them.
Yeah, you'll take them. They taste nice. They're just way more convenient. The powder, no matter what they say that it's non-flavored, tastes like garbage.
But also something non-flavored is its own flavor.
Yeah, and it's awful. It's disgusting. So
what they mean is they haven't added a flavoring.
Yeah.
It tastes like crap.
It tastes awful. Tastes awful. And I remember, and there's always that powdery aftertaste. I went through a phase of trying to put it in squash, and I was like, it's awful. So yeah, the gummies are the way forward.
Elite.
So
if you're aiming for muscle growth, better performance, whatever it might be, then it is going to be effective. So if you've got a budget, it's a no-brainer, really.
Yeah, it should, beyond protein supplementation, creatine should be your first point of call. And if you're looking to grow muscle.
And look, if we're in an ideal world, you'd be getting your protein from whole food sources. Do you know what I mean? So whereas it's less likely that you'd be getting enough creatine from that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're vegetarian or vegan. You're probably going to be missing this.
Meat is the main source. So yeah.
That's the one. That's some cracking stuff. Oh, myth dispelling, it does not make you lose your hair.
Do you know what? I've never heard that one.
Have you not? This massive ongoing thing for years and years and years was that guys who took creatine went bald, and they went bald quicker, and that it messed with them. But they've now completely disproved that.
Well, I've been taking creatine for a long time, and I'm 90% hair. So
yeah, you're effectively bald, I think. Obviously, within people's genetics and stuff, but it was a fair sort of fear to be afraid of.
No, fair.
But it doth not do it.
Nope.
So if you hear it as a reason not to do it, it is not the case, or at least as far as we know at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, that was bloody marvellous.
Yeah, that was creatine.
Shall we wrap up?
Let's wrap this thing up. So you can find us on social media at Fit2 Perform West End. If you've got any questions you want answered by us, you know what to do. Slip aside into those DMs. We're going to be in there.
Doing what?
Having a bath with a pigeon.
Bath with a pigeon, oh my God. But on that note, thank you for joining us. And if you like what you heard, we've been Fit2 Talk with a pigeon, me, Steffan.
And me, Bobby. And if you didn't like it, we've been Joe Wicks. Peace out.